I've been watching you for a minute because you stand out. You know, when you think about the Wu-Tang Clan, and I've watched the documentary. You're like of Mics and Men. You're like, who is this? Where? How Sophia Chang? Just I know they're in the whole Shaolin Wu-Tang space, but how did you end up there?
You know, Karen, I actually had the same question, to be frank. When I finished writing my memoir, I said, I want to make a documentary about myself, because now it's all about me all day. And I asked this really smart filmmaker, and she said, Sophia, now that you've written your memoir, what is the question that you are left with? And my question was, why me? So I can tell you technically how I got to Wu-Tang, right? So I moved to New York in 1987. The hip-hop scene is this big. So everybody is in the clubs. DJs, MC, graph artists, b-boys, right? But then you also have all of the executives all across all the sectors. So the radio people, the publicists, and everybody. So it's an easy scene to infiltrate, as I did. And then I get my job at Jive, and I'm doing A&R, and the Wu-Tang demo comes across my desk, and it's incredible, but I can't sign them because RZA, as a genius, asked for a non-exclusive deal. We're not going to do that. But then then he was shopping the Gravediggers, another group that he had with Prince Paul, and then I met him, and then I met the other guys. So that's that's kind of the chronology. Okay, right. That's a historical part of it. But in terms of how I came to be, as I always say, raised by Wu-Tang, I think that that's very different. And I did ask myself that, and I asked them that, recording them. Like I said to Ray, I was just this little Korean Canadian girl. And there was no transaction going on, right? I didn't sign any of you at the time. I didn't manage you. I wasn't sleeping with any of you. I wasn't giving you jobs, money, access, none of that. I'm just I just loved them so deeply as people. And obviously had such tremendous respect and fandom for them as artists. But what they said to me, and I found the response really touching, was, God has a plan, Soph. And you were meant to be with us. You're like Raekwon says, you're like the sister that Wu-Tang never had. And RZA says that as well. So one of the beauties of writing a memoir is that you get to acknowledge the people in your life and who brought you to where you are. Because I always say, am I allowed to curse?
Of course. Okay. We call it the baddest bitch in the room.
All right, but I'm going to go a little bit
Listener
further than that.
discretion is advised.
It's Friday.
Thank you.
Friday, Smith.
I always say that it took a motherfucking village to raise Sophia Chang. And in my memoir, I hope what people hear is me acknowledging how integral and seminal and critical those people were to my journey, and Wu-Tang being a really big part of that. So I think that they were like, yeah, Soph, come here.
Right.
And they claimed me so demonstrably.